everybody, welcome back to A+ Maths. My name is Heidi Postle. I've already done a video on what is a spanning tree. Now we need to find out what a minimum spanning tree is. Of course, a minimum spanning tree would be how to get from the beginning to the end of whatever activity you're trying to get done in the minimum amount of time. Now we can always look at the tree and logically follow the tracks and figure out which one's the smallest amount of time or distance, whatever we happen to be looking at. But there are methods that can be used to help us calculate these when things get a lot more complicated. Two very famous methods, or the two that you really need to know, are Kruskal's algorithm and Prim's algorithm. They're the two that I'd like to show you today. To do Kruskal's algorithm, we need to follow 4 steps. There's only 4 things that you need to do. The 4 steps are: step 1, remove the loops. Step 2, remove all parallel edges, leaving only the weighting with the smallest amount. Step number 3 is to create an edge table in ascending order, getting smallest to biggest. Very important. Create an edge table. And then step number 4, our final step, we create our minimum spanning tree, remembering that vertices minus 1 is the number of edges. There it is written down. Now let's do an example. Remove any loops. So, you obviously don't need to draw the whole thing again if you don't want to, but I'm doing it like this so that everybody can follow what I've actually done each step. So the only thing I'm doing from step 1 is removing these loops. Remember, a loop goes to the same point twice. They're my 2 loops. Step number 1, I have removed those loops. Step number 2 says remove all parallel edges, leaving only the smallest edge. So that means that if I draw my chart, my activities again, that's 2 and 12. There's my double parallel edge. I have 2 edges going from A to C, so I'm going to remove this one because this one has the bigger weighting of 12, and I only want to leave the weighting with the smallest number, which is 2. Step number 3. Draw an edge table. What's an edge table? An edge table is where you write down all the sides that you have in the order of the weightings. So, not very difficult. What's my smallest edge that I have here? I can put edge and weight. The smallest edge is BC, and it has a weighting of 1. Make sure you go from smallest to biggest. Smallest to biggest. This is important when we want to be able to get our minimum spanning tree. So we want the numbers to go from smallest to biggest, otherwise we won't get the smallest one at the end. After BC, number 1, weighting of 1, I've got BA and AC. It does not matter which one you do first. If you write AC and BA, that's fine. It does not matter which one comes first as long as they both have the same weighting. Then 3 comes next, CD is 3, and lucky last, BD is 5. There is my edge table in ascending order from smallest to biggest. Then we can go straight to step number 4, which is really the final step. Step number 4, draw my minimum spanning tree. And what do we need to remember when we're drawing a spanning tree? That the number of edges equals the number of vertices minus 1. This is what you need to remember. Edges equals vertices minus 1. That's the only rule here really that you need to remember. So I need to look at how many vertices I have. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 vertices. So I need 3 edges. Three edges, 4 vertices. So that's what I need to concentrate on now when I want to draw my minimum spanning tree. Now I can look at my edge table, and just directly from the edge table, I can draw my minimum spanning tree. It tells me BC1 first. If you would like to do it in the same direction as your original picture, that's okay. So I'm going to draw BC1, that's first. BA2 is next. Then I have AC2. But if I draw A to C, I would be creating a loop. Now remember, in a spanning tree, you're not allowed to have a loop, so we don't do the AC. I continue on CD, which is 3. Don't forget, 4 vertices, 3 edges. 1, 2, 3. I've already done 3 edges, therefore I do not need to continue on to BD. And this will be my minimum spanning tree. Finished. It's very simple. Step 1, remove the loops. Step 2, remove any parallel sides, leaving only the smallest side. Step 3, draw your edge table. Step 4, remember that edges is vertices minus 1. And then draw the spanning tree from your edge table. And that's Kruskal's algorithm. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe below. See you next time.